Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your league chair, Stan Barnes.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and thank you for joining us here this evening. We appreciate you being here. As chair of the Ohio Credit Union League, it is my privilege to call this 81st annual meeting and business session of the Ohio Credit Union League to order. If everyone would please stand, I would like Catherine Herring, the recently retired CEO, boy that sounds good, doesn't it, of Communicating Arts Credit Union in Cincinnati. She will offer our invocation and lead us in our Pledge of Allegiance. Catherine.
Please join me in a moment of quiet reflection, each one of us according to our individual beliefs. As we gather to celebrate the successes and accomplishments of the Ohio Credit Union League, we acknowledge that we are participants in a cooperative movement with responsibilities and obligations to assist our brothers and sisters in achieving their dreams. We remember those who have gone before us, who labored not for themselves alone, but with a vision of building for the future a world better than they had known. Inspire in us a like vision, that we too may labor for accomplishments beyond ourselves. Bless our efforts with clear insight, our deliberations with wisdom, our work with clarity and accuracy, and our decisions with impartiality. We seek to serve with respect for all. May our personal faiths give us strength to act honestly and well in all matters. In your name we pray. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Catherine, and again, congratulations. Our first order of business this evening is to, on behalf of the League Board and all of our membership, recognize Barry Shaner, who has served for the past 2 years as the chairman of the Ohio Credit Union League. We thought it was appropriate at this time to recognize some of the accomplishments that Barry has led over the last 2 years. Barry, who is the CEO of Directions Credit Union, led the league through a critical time and saw many significant accomplishments, and I'd like to share some of those with you here tonight. First, a governance review project initiated in 2013 and finished up in January of 2015 was undertaken, in which the league worked very hard with its affiliated organizations to restructure so that we were always sure that we would have high quality, efficient leadership in place for years to come. We also saw the continued evolution of our chapter structures, which resulted in the new Credit Union Outreach Alliances. And these outreach alliances have the sole purpose of bringing credit unions and credit union people together to collaborate on community outreach events. Under Barry's leadership, the voice of the member was heard louder than ever before, especially in 2014 through membership survey and regional group dialogues. Both of these revealed very important realities about the relationship between our members, you, and the league. And what we learned from that will drive our agenda in the next several years to come. We also saw a re-energized commitment to membership engagement that continually conveys the league's modern value to credit unions and strengthens the league's affiliation core. You also saw many tangible value-added products being added to your benefits as members. You may use many of them, things like the CU Analyzer, the Info Site, the Media Tools, the Policy Pro, Rate Map, CUNA State Staff Salary Survey, 3 free bi-monthly webinars. All of these now will continue to be provided as benefits to our member credit unions. You also saw a special emphasis on strengthening consumer awareness, as this was added to the League Continuous Advocacy Improvement Path. And on the business side of our organizations, CU PartnerLink, a collaboration of the California, Georgia, Iowa, Ohio, and Texas credit union leagues, continues to develop new products and new revenue-generating options for credit unions. And just like all of you in your credit unions, when you're doing cool things for your members, you have to make sure that the financial side of the house is in order too. And I can tell you that financially, the League and its affiliated organizations are very strong. So Barry, at this time, I know you're out here right there. Would you please stand? Barry, we appreciate your strong leadership as chair of the Ohio Credit Union League Board, and on behalf of myself, the board members, and the member credit unions of the Ohio Credit Union League, thank you for a job well done. It is now my pleasure to introduce the 2015 Ohio Credit Union League Board and members of its related organizations. So ladies and gentlemen, would you please turn your attention to the screens.
Stan Barnes, CSE Federal Credit Union. Christine Blake, Cardinal Credit Union. Scott Hicks, Impact Credit Union. Tim Bellner, Our Group Financial Credit Union. Bill Burke, Day Air Credit Union. Karen Reams, Millstream Area Credit Union. Barry Shaner, Directions Credit Union. Dan Sutton, Kemba Credit Union. Robin Thomas, Talaris Credit Union. Lee Butke, Corporate One Federal Credit Union. Sonia Delaney, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union. Catherine Herring, Communicating Arts Credit Union. Vidya Iyengar, Marion Community Credit Union. Jim Johnson, Hopewell Federal Credit Union. Kathy Knight, Parish Federal Credit Union. Ben Lorendo, Firefighters Community Credit Union. Christy Leslie, Bridge Credit Union. Phil Meyer, Ohio University Credit Union. Kurt Nieper, Superior Federal Credit Union. Laura Roberts, Chivajo Federal Credit Union. Gary Sukanik, 717 Credit Union. Tam Straight Shervish, Unity Catholic Federal Credit Union. Dave Wild, Sun Federal Credit Union. Jack Wilster, 717 Credit Union.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in thanking these people. They work extremely hard. They are very dedicated. They give up their time and their service, and the League is a stronger organization because of their work. So again, please join me in thanking them for their efforts. I would like to take this opportunity to personally thank the members of the Ohio Credit Union League and the League Board. I appreciate your service and your commitment, and I appreciate the confidence that you have shown in me by allowing me to serve as your chair. I take it as a huge responsibility and one that I do not take lightly. Because, ladies and gentlemen, bottom line here is I am a believer. I believe in the credit union movement. I believe in the credit union philosophy. And I believe, as Bill Herring says, that credit unions do have the power to change lives one at a time. I believe in the power of collaboration, and I believe in the Ohio Credit Union League. I believe that together we are stronger, our voices are louder, our message is clearer, our futures are brighter, and our impact can be greater than ever before. And I believe that each and every one of us has a part to play. We all have a responsibility. We have a responsibility to the movement, certainly to our credit unions, to our members, to each other, and to the Ohio Credit Union League. Tonight, in the short time that I have to speak with you, I want to do it not only as an elected officer of your state trade association, but I want to be able to speak to you tonight as one credit union peer to another, CEO to CEO. Or if you're a C-level executive, a board chair, a board member, a branch manager, a marketing officer, a member service representative, a teller, it really doesn't matter in the end because we all share the same responsibility. Each and every day, our responsibility as credit union professionals is to create value for our members. And in your credit unions, you do it a lot of different ways. You do it by creating and adding new products and services. You do it by offering new convenient access channels for your members to access their services with you. You do it by providing new facilities or by joining the shared branching network. All of those things, those cool things that you do for your members, adds value to their relationship with you. And the same is true at the Ohio Credit Union League. Our responsibility at the league as a board member and as staff of the league is to work very hard every day to create value, to add tangible value to your relationship with the league. We just talked about some of the accomplishments that have taken place over the last 2 years, and many of those were rooted in this idea that we need to provide tangible value as part of your membership with us. And we'll continue to do that. Now, in your credit union, you all know that regardless of the cool products and services or convenient items that you provide your members, it is absolutely of no value if your members do not use those products, if they don't engage. And the very same is true at the Ohio Credit Union League. We can create product, we can add tangible value, but if our members, all of you, don't engage, then all of that value is left on the table. I really believe that when all of this value runs head-on into what I like to call determined engagement, that's where the real power happens. At my credit union, CSE, we have pursued a strategy of determined engagement. We participate with the Ohio Credit Union League at every possible level that our resources will allow, whether that's through governance or the new credit union outreach alliances or any possible level in between. That strategy of determined engagement is so ingrained in our credit union that I want to share a story with you that illustrates that pretty well. Before each and every one of our board meetings, my board chairman, Millard Nyber, will come in a little early. He will sit down with me, we will go through the agenda, we will look at the items, and he'll talk to me about what we hope to accomplish at that meeting. He'll ask if anything has come up that is different, anything he needs to know about, and he always likes to be prepared. And this last board meeting was very similar to a lot of others with one major exception. We had 3 board members who were starting as board members for the very first time. This would be their first meeting. And Millard was concerned about that. He was talking about the onboarding process for these 3 brand new board members, and he said, Stan, you know, we really have to make sure that these board members understand that we are part of a system, that we have a national organization that advocates on our behalf, that tries to take care of regulatory overburden and pursues legislation that helps credit unions. And they need to know that at the state level, we have a trade association that works just as hard. And they need to know that part of that system are local organizations called these outreach alliances. They need to understand all of that. To me, that was a pretty powerful statement that this strategy of determined engagement with our league is alive and well and has certainly been helpful to us. So my challenge to each and every one of you tonight is to make 2015 a year of determined engagement. Engage with the league like you never have before. And how can you do that? There's a lot of ways. When the league staff calls and asks you to participate in a media visit with a local reporter and tell the credit union story, say yes. When the regulatory affairs staff calls you and says that they need a credit union to host a meeting with the legislature to lobby for legislation that will help credit unions and give you the chance to tell the credit union story, say yes. When you receive the invitations for the GAC or Hike the Hill, again, places where we can tell our credit union story, say yes. When your outreach alliances work very hard to stand up, in many cases, their first efforts at community outreach, and they want you to be involved to tell the credit union story, say yes. When CUNA sends you an email and asks you to help quantify the cost of compliance, just like Becky Landis did at State Highway Patrol Credit Union, she told the credit union story. She said yes. Before I leave here tonight, I just want to do 2 more things. First would be this. All of this value creation that we talked about and all of this engagement does not happen without the hard work of one incredibly dedicated staff at the Ohio Credit Union League. They are incredibly committed to the movement, to the credit unions in Ohio, and they work very hard. I have had the chance to work now with them very closely, and I am very impressed. They love the credit union movement, they believe in what they do, and we are a much better organization, and we're much better credit unions because of their efforts. And finally, I want to thank all of you once again, our membership. I want to thank you for being here tonight and participating in our 81st annual meeting. And thank you for being here over the next 2 days to support Invest 48. I really look forward to visiting with each and every one of you over the next 2 days and learning how the league can better help your credit union engage, succeed, and grow. And now, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I would like to invite Paul Mercer, the president of the Ohio Credit Union League, to address the board and the membership.
Thank you, Stan. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our 81st annual meeting. I can't believe it's 81 years, but that's an incredible accomplishment. When Stan Barnes says, "I believe," is it believable or what? What a tremendous, passionate leader that Stan is. And just getting started as the league chair, as you learned, Barry Shaner finished up with an exceptional 2 years in guiding us forward, and Stan has taken over. And as you can see, our succession planning process works beautifully at the highest level of leadership, and We go from strength to strength, from Barry to Stan, and as you can see, Stan can barely contain his passion and love for credit unions, and that flows for the league, and we on the staff appreciate that tremendously. I've got some brief remarks, and then I'd like you to stay right where you're at, because after we're done here with the league in a few minutes, the strongest corporate in the country, Corporate One Federal Credit Union, will be up here. Lee Butke and Jerry Guy and their leadership team will treat you to a very impressive annual meeting in its own right for the corporate. So I think that's very important, and I'll be here with you watching and learning of their great success. I thought I'd comment on just a few things if you were talking about what kind of ingredients you would put together in a recipe to make a modern league for the future. What ingredients would you work up? Would you find them? How would you rub them together? How would you mix them up? And how would you keep a league going after 81 successful years? How would you push that forward into the future? So I'm going to comment on a few of those things, and then we'll wrap this up. The first one is just healthy financials. Stan mentioned this. I want to thank Christine Blake, who was the treasurer of the league in 2014, and Sean Kessinger on staff, who's the director of accounting and HR. The two ladies together as a team were unbeatable. We have, yet again, a clean audit from McGladrey. We're very appreciative of that. You can find our annual report and our audited financials at theoculreport.com, or it's available via the app, and it will all be posted on our website as well if you're interested in the details. But we had a good year in 2014, and the league is solid financially. Assets total about $6 million. Net assets, which is comparable to your net worth, is about $4 million of that, and operating revenue last year was about $5 million. The change in net assets, which is our trade association accounting lingo for net income, was $100,000, so I guess that means that we put $4.9 million to work to create benefits and value for our members, and that's what happened. That change in net assets actually is after we donated over $300,000 to strengthen the Defense Coalition, which now has over $1 million on reserve under control of the League Board of Directors to protect you from systemic emergencies and threats here in Ohio. And we were also able to donate money to strengthen the grant-making opportunities in the Ohio Credit Union Foundation. So that's what I call a good year for the Ohio Credit Union League. Very proud of it. Like most credit unions, like most of you, we are small and strong at the Ohio Credit Union League, just like our credit unions. We have passionate leaders. You saw the tape earlier. I have to admit, I had not seen that before, and when I saw the first picture come up, and a beautiful picture of one of our board members and the name all scrambled to bits, my first thought was, damn it, Josh, what's going on there? That would be Josh Reams. You saw Karen Reams, his mother. He's a credit union brat, and I'll bet Karen, maybe years ago, said, damn it, Josh, more than a few times too. But turns out, once again, Josh was right and I was wrong. That happens a lot at the league with our staff. But anyways, that was fantastic. As you can see, we've got an exceptional leadership team at our board of directors. Spread across the league and its related organizations. In particular, I want to draw attention to the chairs that do all the heavy lifting. That's Stan Barnes, chairing the league and the Defense Coalition. Tam Straight-Shervish, chairing OCUL Services Corporation. Gary Sukanik, chairing OCUL-LAC and OCUL-PAC, our political action committees. And Karen Reams, chairing the foundation as we go forward into the future under this modernized structure that Barry Shaner led us to last year. So we've got exceptional leadership to go with those strong financials. Another ingredient, of course, would be your dedicated professionals, and we are just like your credit unions, or at least most of you. We are small but mighty. The league staff, as we sit here today, is 21 souls. They are awesome. There are one or two open spots, depending on how you count them, but that gives you a sense of the size of the organization. So I love the passion that you have in credit unions. Small size is never an excuse, certainly isn't a disability. With extraordinary people, small organizations can accomplish extraordinary things. That's true for your credit unions. It's also true for your Ohio Credit Union League. I wasn't going to single anybody out, but I have to because I've spent much of the day watching your league staff do an excellent job. So I'd like to pick on Juliana Menino. She's hopefully out here in the audience somewhere, but I snuck into the back of her BSA training session. She had she had 35 or 40 feisty volunteers in there, wondering why we have to do all this crazy stuff for FinCEN and Bank Secrecy Act and all that kind of thing. And I just marveled in the back at something I could never do. Juliana did a wonderful job with that session, and she had a great rapport going on with the volunteers, and I just sat there and watched and said, that's what a great job by an awesome league staffer looks like. Earlier in the day, I had noticed this when Carol McAllister did the heavy lifting on a very complicated topic called Risk-Based Capital 2. And Carol is the prime author of our comment letter, and she worked very hard on that. She and I teamed up on that together. She led the process. She laid her work, in front of 12 or 15 of some of the sharpest credit union executives on our Government Affairs Committee and said, what do you think? How would you refine this? And the Government Affairs Committee said, Carol, outstanding job. Go ahead and file this comment because it beautifully represents the strength and the power of credit unions in Ohio. So Carol blew me away today. And I'll mention one more, and that's Becky Hart. Let's see. So there is a piece of class action litigation called the Home Depot class action litigation involving credit unions, and just recently some of their membership organizations, including the Georgia Credit Union League, California Credit Union League, the Credit Union National Association just this past week, and as of this morning, largely because of the excellent leadership of Becky Hart, the Ohio Credit Union League will be joining in this class action suit to fight with every ounce of energy we've got for the best interests of credit unions, in this case, of course, because of the painful topic of data breaches. And ladies and gentlemen, Becky Hart is not an attorney, but she has stayed at a Holiday Inn. So anyways, 3 examples, and I could go on forever, or I could go on at least 21 times because you have such an awesome staff at the Ohio Credit Union League. Obviously an important ingredient. We have tough challenges like the consolidation and concentration trends. The headwinds that you face become the headwinds that we face. Of course, the opposing forces that would stand in the way of credit union progress in this state across this country are stronger than ever. They include our cousins in the bank system. They include uninformed consumers who we have yet to find or who have yet to find us. They include misguided public officials. And as you will all agree, they include the heavy disruptive role that government has come to play in far too many ways over the last decade or so. There are exciting opportunities for us and for you. Certainly, advocacy is an important part of our business. Legislative, regulatory, and public advocacy will continue to be a top priority, and I think there are amazing opportunities because we, you and us together as your advocacy organization, are growing stronger every day, and I think we're going to continue to represent credit unions well. We're going to defend and protect you, and we're going to advance your opportunities at every turn in that important part of our business. I think differentiation is an exciting opportunity for you and for us both. Credit unions are not like banks. Credit unions are not bank-light. Credit unions are not anything like banks. If those of you that are familiar with the Cola Wars and the Uncola, 7-Up, that's what we are. We are the unbank. And so I think we all have an extraordinary obligation, and the opportunity for doing it well is huge in the differentiation arena. Modern cooperation and collaboration, we're changing a lot, you're changing a lot, and yet it's never been more important than for credit unions to practice one of the 7 cooperative principles, cooperation among cooperatives, credit unions having each other's backs, all of us together, our organizations and our individuals binding together in mutual support to lift the whole movement up and push it forward into the future. And I think in new, different ways, we're learning to do that even more than we have in the past, and I think that's very important for the future. We have an important mission at the League. Americans choose credit unions as their best financial partner. That's our vision statement. The League is a catalyst for credit union success. That's our simple, strong, focused mission statement. And we have a business focus, and that business focus is to remove barriers to your success and growth, to increase consumer awareness for your success and growth, and to foster service excellence to foster your growth and success. The strong value proposition, of course, would be an important ingredient in our recipe, and I think Stan Barnes just spoke beautifully to that. We help you grow with an empowering credit union environment, with strong credit union collaboration and cooperation, with vibrant and vital credit union philosophy, and with solutions and tools that drive credit union growth and success. That's what we do. That's where we create value for your credit unions. And I've never been more proud of the value created by the Ohio Credit Union League for you. The last ingredient, just like you, are awesome members. I can't tell you how many times I've heard from a credit union leader, an executive or a volunteer, say to me, one of our great advantages at our credit union is we have an awesome membership. Well, that's true of the Ohio Credit Union League. We have an awesome membership. It's you, and we treasure the support and participation that we get from you. So that's what I wanted to share here tonight, that if we were making up a recipe for league success, looking forward into the future for the next decade, after we're going to get to 91, I guess, in 10 more years, what would you do? What ingredients would you include? Those are some of the things that I thought I would share. So with that, I just want to thank you very much, our leadership, our members, and our staff. We're in great shape at the Ohio Credit Union League, ready to charge forward, and just like Stan Barnes said, I believe, and we believe, and your league believes, and that's the kind of passion we're going to use for the future. Thank you very much.
I've had the opportunity now to be at several meetings all over the country, and those of the league chairs that have preceded me will tell you the same. We have the opportunity to see league president and CEOs in action, and I'm going to tell you, we have one, if not the best, around. So again, Paul, thank you very much for your comments. At this time, I would like to ask if there is any other business to come before this session tonight. There being no other business and hearing no objection, the 81st annual meeting and business session of the Ohio Credit Union League is adjourned. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here, and we ask that you please stay seated. Corporate One's annual meeting will begin very shortly. Thank you very much for being here tonight.
Ladies